I've got the book Jabari Tries by Gaia Cornwall, and I'm going to tell you exactly what questions to ask while you read this book with your child so that you get the most out of reading comprehension. This book is about perseverance versus frustration, mindful emotional regulation, the power of teamwork, the engineering process, representation, and mentorship. All right, let's get into it. First question, character development. Who is the main character and what does he like? What does he want to do? Jabari is our main character. He is motivated, he is ambitious, he is creative, he is independent, he is confident, and he wants to build a flying machine that will fly across his backyard. And he wants to do it by himself. Jumping forward, central idea. What problem is Jabari facing and how does he propose to solve it? The problem he's facing is that his first attempt failed. So he has to use the engineering process and he has to problem solve. Think of a solution, implement solution, repeat. So he is going to think about, he's gonna basically, kind of like I said, just trial and error. He's going to work to solve the problem. He's going to be creative, think, work to solve the problem, think of a solution, execute it, repeat. Integrate visual information. What detail can the illustrator show better with pictures than with words? So this is the theme of representation. There are a bunch of different scientists and engineers of color named here and pictured here, and that's definitely easier to show with an illustration versus writing it out. So yeah, that is the inspiration that Jabari is using to problem solve his flying machine. Jumping forward, character development. What does Jabari's behavior tell us about how they are feeling? Okay, so I think we have to see the illustration here too to see like just how complicated this contraption is that Jabari built by himself, because he still wants to do this by himself. So he is very hardworking. He is persevering. He is also extremely creative for coming up with all of this. So like the engineering process in action here. He's got a lot of moving parts to try to get his flying machine going, all highlighting his creativity, perseverance, hard work to get this all built. Moving forward, central idea. How does Jabari's father propose to solve the problem? So Jabari's father is the one who brings in the theme of collaboration. He says that his little sister, Nika, would be a great partner. He says all the great scientists have partners. So his father brings in the idea of collaboration. So his father proposes to solve the problem through collaboration. Jumping forward, interpret words and phrases. Which words or phrases help you experience the story in a more powerful way and how? Hopefully your child can pick up on this, that this is the fancy language down here where it says his chest felt tight and his neck felt like a sunburn. Your child does not need to know that that is a simile, but they should recognize that that is fancy language and that it is used to describe in a more powerful way, like his frustration, like his neck feels hot. So that is the more powerful way that we are experiencing the text. His neck feels like a sunburn, it feels hot, it's creating a more vivid picture for us of how frustrated he is. So we are experiencing the frustration right here. It says he wanted to cry. Things are not going well with the airplane just yet. He's very frustrated. Nothing is working, he says. Okay, central idea. What problem is Jabari facing? How does Jabari's father propose to solve the problem? So the problem Jabari is facing is not only will his plane not fly, but in spite of his hard work, resilience, creativity, problem solving, engineering skills, in spite of all of that, he even tried collaboration. His plane is not flying. Okay, So that is the problem he is facing. Everything is going wrong, nothing is working. How does Jabari's father propose to solve that problem? This is where the themes of mindful regulation and perseverance come in. Jabari's father tells him to breathe deeply, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Get yourself under control, and then like go back at it. I think that's it, right? And then you try, and then go try it again. So gather your patience, take deep breaths, close your eyes, let your body calm down, and then go back to it. So Jabari's dad is solving the problem with this like mindful emotion regulation. Character relationship. Who has the most influence over Jabari in the story? This is the theme of mentorship again. Who has the most influence over Jabari? It's his dad. When his dad said you should try collaboration, he does, even though he didn't want to. When everything is going wrong and Jabari's really upset, his dad's like, close your eyes, take deep breaths, recenter yourself, and Jabari does. So just showing us how far a trusted and like respected mentor can go in a situation. Next question, analyze point of view. How do different characters see the same event differently? This is like mentor-mentee point of view. So Jabari's dad sees this situation of complete failure, not as complete failure, but as like, okay, this is just the process of making something. Failure is part of the process. We persevere, we take deep breaths, we close our eyes, we visualize, and then we persevere, we have persistence, and we get back at it. We're resilient. Jabari, mentee, sees the situation in a different way. He is distraught, he's upset, he's like, this is a failure, this is a failed project, I'm upset, it's not working. So mentor, mentee, different points of view, seeing the same problem from different perspectives. Central idea. What has Jabari learned over the course of the story? He has learned that collaboration works because he was successful after his sister became part of his team. Even though his little sister didn't really contribute that much, she was kind of just there. She was still a buddy. She was part of the process. He learned the value of perseverance through frustration. So he experienced the frustration, he got back at it anyway. The power of teamwork, he's working with his sister. And more than anything, probably just like perseverance through frustration, because he did finally was successful and created the plane. And the key was wings, which his sister is wearing wings. All right. He's probably also learned subconsciously that his dad is a good mentor and that he can go to his dad with frustration, because when he was frustrated and crying, Jabari's dad wasn't like, you made a mess of the yard, go do something else. Jabari's dad was not upset at all the stuff he was doing. He was not upset that Jabari was crying and frustrated. He immediately was supportive and helped him be resilient. So Jabari subconsciously also learned that dad is a safe place to go when things are really wrong and I'm upset. All right, last question, central idea. What message, moral lesson does the author want us to take away? So Gaia Cornwall wants us to take away the messages of like, frustration is part of failure. So when you're frustrated, when you fail, like, welcome to reality, that is normal. And the harder thing to do is to persevere through that, and that is like the normal thing to do. Like, so to not be frustrated when you fail, to not be discouraged when you fail, but to completely understand that that is 100% part of the process, and you persevere through that. Like, don't beat yourself up because of it. Mindful emotion regulation, when you do get upset and frustrated because you've experienced a failure in spite of your legitimate efforts, learn to breathe through it, work through it, have resilience, get back at it, because it's all super normal and part of the process. Power of teamwork, and that highlights what Jabari Tries is about by Gaia Cornwall. So I think this is a must read with your kid, especially if your kid likes to tinker with things. Regardless, definite must read with your kids. So get this book from your library, ask some of these questions while you're reading with your child, and have a lot of fun.